Thanks for staying with us on Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876 922 4112 to 5. In fact, 876 922 4113 to 5. 876 922 4113 to 5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions: 876 881 5254. 876 881 5254. The website is landsolutionsja.com. Landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. Facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. Gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road, or more precisely 15 Hope Road in Halfway Tree. You can call the offices of Brown, Findley and Company by dialing 876 908 1950 or 876 908 3518. The Ocho Rios offices of the law firm Brown, Findley and Company are located at Shop 6 upstairs the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. In fact, there's a lawyer on duty every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you wish to call the Ocho Rios offices of the law firm Brown, Findley and Company directly, that number is 876 974 6083. 876 974 6083. Once again, here's attorney at law, Calicia Findley.
I have a barrage of messages on WhatsApp. Today, Miss Findley, can I apply for a reduction in my property taxes? I can't afford the amount due yearly. Yes, you can. There is a form online, and there are also forms available at every tax office in Jamaica. You can apply for a reduction. You can apply to pay in installments. If you think your valuation is high, you can also appeal it. With respect to the appeal, though, I think there is a provision that says you either have to pay, if I'm not mistaken, either 50 to 75% of the property taxes or some portion of it before you can appeal it. Yeah. So look into that carefully. But yes, you can apply for a reduction. And generally, if you are a pensioner, I know there are provisions for a lower rate. You can go to their website, it's kj.gov.jm, or go to any tax office to get more information. I would like to find out something. I'm living on property, paying lease, and the person who is supposedly the owner doesn't have a title, is now dead. His children want to sell the property. Can this be done? We didn't have any agreement with them. How can we go about getting representatives for this property? The gentleman said he is the one who's paying the taxes, but it doesn't seem he has a title. What can we do? First thing you need to do is go and sit with an attorney and have a formal consultation so we can see exactly what documentation you have. As someone who is leasing land and renting, use the terms interchangeably. And I'm not saying that you are saying this, but I just see this happening all the time. A lot of people think that because they have been leasing property for a long time, that they have a right to it, or that the person, the owner, or the owner's relative, once they have proper title, that they can sell the land, and they can. In your case, you're saying the person doesn't have any title, doesn't have any paper. Of course, you can't move unless you have a formal order of the court or a notice to quit. So you can stay there until you get something formal to leave the property. But please, don't think that because you have been there leasing it for 30 years that you can just continue staying there forever, or that they are obligated to offer it to you first to buy it. No. And for those of you who are in what we call long leases, if you haven't already, please get something in writing, get it formalized. It is quite prevalent in the country where persons are leasing property for 30, 40 years. They don't know who the owner is. They're just paying some money every year to someone. They have nothing in writing. They build houses on it, and it just turns out to be a disaster. So please ensure that you put your affairs in order. A lot of us only decide to seek advice when someone comes and says, all right, I am the owner. It's time for you to leave the property. Someone wrote me asking if I wanted to sell my house. Is this legal? How were they able to get my address? There is nothing wrong with that at all. It is perhaps an invasion of your privacy, but it's not illegal. I suppose they may have got your address by doing a title search. But let us say they're interested in lot 25 Mary Avenue. So you can simply go to the title's office, request a copy of the title, pay $1,000, and they get it. Because titles are public documents. So there's nothing untoward, nothing illegal with someone obtaining a copy of your title. And there's nothing wrong if someone writes you asking if you're willing to sell the property. So you either ignore them. If you don't want to sell them, I would ignore them. If you feel inclined, you can respond and say no, but you don't have to. If you want to sell the property, engage the services of an attorney so your attorney can be in dialogue with anybody who is interested in purchasing the property. But again, there really is nothing wrong with someone finding your address and contacting you. I am buying a house, but the tenants are living there, and I want them out before I sign the agreement. How does this work? Many people don't know that you are not supposed to give a notice for your tenants to leave on the basis that you're selling the property. There are certain grounds set out in the Rent Restriction Act as to the basis on which you can ask a tenant to leave, non-payment of rent. You want the property for your own use, and you want the property for repairs. You can't say in a notice, I want you out of the property because I am selling it. So many times, persons end up losing an opportunity to purchase properties because of this, unless the landlord gives you notice for some other reason. Excuse me. So if you want to buy the property and the tenants are there, you can insist that the sale agreement says vacant, meaning they'll be out when the sale is finished. And while the sale is ongoing, the seller's lawyer will ensure that the tenants are out. But of course, we know how it is sometimes. You serve a tenant with a notice, and they sit and sit, the notice expires, and they don't go anywhere. You have to end up taking them to court. Even sometimes we see where the court will make an order for them to go, and they're still there. You have to go back to court, get an order for a bailiff to come and remove them. So ensure this is something that you discuss with your attorney. Ensure it is put in the sale agreement that the tenants will be out. If the sale is finished and the tenants are not out, you can claim compensation from the seller. But please, don't buy a property where you want the tenants out and then this isn't addressed. Because if the sale is finished and the tenants are still there, then it will be your responsibility to get the tenants out. So ensure that the sale agreement speaks to what is going to happen with the tenants. If it doesn't say anything, you might have a difficulty in getting them out. Someone wants to know, how do they report a nuisance from a neighbor? I'm not sure what type of nuisance it is. If it is something criminal, you can go to the nearest police station. You can file a complaint with your parish council. You can get an attorney to write the neighbor. Send me a follow-up message asking what exactly is the issue. I am going to assume that perhaps you have tried speaking to your neighbor. If not, try that. And believe it or not, a lot of times when a dispute arises with parties, with neighbors, many people are quick to first either go to the authorities or go to an attorney without trying to have a discussion. So try that first. I know sometimes some neighbors especially can be difficult. They're not the easiest persons to speak to. So those are the options. Try talking to them, report it to the police if it's a criminal matter, go to the parish council, or seek the services of an attorney. Let me just see if I have time for one more message. Do I have to do a new will if I lose my old will? Well, yes, because if you lose it, that means you can't find it. So yes, you have to. Let's say you lose it, but you have a copy of it. Still do a new one, because when we don't have an original will, we have to file a special application in court asking for the court to approve that photocopy. And then once the court approves it, we can then apply for probate. So it takes a long time. So yes, if you can't find your will, just do a new one. And for those of you who have wills, titles, just do a check. Just make sure everything is intact. A lot of times we only realize that our title is missing when we're ready to sell the property. So check for your birth certificate, your marriage certificate, your titles, everything. Make sure everything is intact, that nothing has been damaged. If a title is too damaged, then you have to surrender it. So please do a search. Let's not wait until the end. Thanks as always for tuning in to Land Solutions. I've been your host for today. Remember, you may always call us in office at 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Thanks as always to Dervan, Adrian, and Chantel, and the entire team of Power 106. Take care.
Protecting Jamaica's borders from illicit imports and exports is a key priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. The JCA will remain vigilant and resolute in effectively fulfilling this mandate. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for Milestones in Nationhood, short features that examine 60 significant milestones in Jamaica's history and development as Jamaica celebrates 60 years of independence, from pre-independence to political independence and the formation of the Jamaican society and people. It all comes together in Milestones in Nationhood, weekdays 12:30 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 876-922-4112. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can also call us on WhatsApp That number is 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. We're taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. What's on your mind this afternoon? Anxious to hear from you. What's the subject of discussion in your household? In the taxis, in the JUTC buses, on the corner, in the markets and the town centers? What are people talking about where you are? Would like to know. At home and abroad. 876 922 4112 to 5. You can message us on Facebook. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook and the search box atop the page. Type DERVAN MALCOLM and you'll be able to watch both sides of the story. If you don't have a Facebook account, no sweat. There's always YouTube, and you don't need to have an account to access YouTube. All you need is a smart device or a not so smart device, a laptop, tablet, computer, smartphone, desktop, any one of those. You need internet connection, but more than that, and more importantly, not just connection, but connectivity. And you can just check for connectivity by opening a browser like Google Chrome. And you should see this video trending if you're doing it now. If not, then in the YouTube search box, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to experience both sides of the story on YouTube. How about that? Let's go to the phone lines, 876 922 4112 to 5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Welcome. How were your independence celebrations?
Oh, you're a genius. You're a genius, man. I don't know what I'm about. All right, make an answer like how you pose your question first.
Yes.
This man don't have an independent celebration, you know? That we could be independent in a next man country, you know?
Oh,
We have to be independent in our country, you know?
I
And
see.
continent of Africa, you know?
Right.
So in turn now, I'm going to ask you, how was your Dervan? How was your 60th anniversary celebration of a constitutional monarchy here in Jamaica?
Well,
How was it?
first of all, Durban is a place name in South Africa.
Dervan.
This one is DERVAN. Vroom, vroom.
Dervan.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. And
That's the name I said.
indeed. And secondly, we spent Independence Day. We started Independence Day by raising funds for students, needy students at Oberlin High School. That's how we spent the morning going into the afternoon. In fact, pretty much all day at Oberlin High School on Independence Day, trying to raise funds for needy students. That's how we spent Independence Day.
Oh, you didn't hear the question I asked you though.
All right.
I can ask you again.
Yes.
I said, how you spent the 60th anniversary celebration of a constitutional monarchy government here in Jamaica on the 6th of August. I said, how you spent it?
Well,
I didn't talk about independence.
well, like I said, my day was spent at Oberlin High School raising funds to support needy students of the institution.
Oh, that is your independence celebration. I'm talking about how was your celebration, your constitutional monarchy system here in Jamaica.
No, I wasn't involved in any other aspect of the celebrations other than raising funds for Oberlin High School students on Independence Day.
Okay, you was raising for is a state school or a private?
No, man, it's a public education institution.
Well, I mean, say Jamaica government.
The Ministry of Education. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So them can afford to make no funds to the school.
Yeah, well, look at it this way. There are those of us who have benefited immensely from these educational institutions, from basic school, otherwise known as early childhood institution, from basic school all the way up. And we feel when we benefit from these institutions that we really should find ways of demonstrating our gratitude, apart from our own individual performance and achievement, that we should demonstrate a level of appreciation for how this or that particular educational institution has played a part in our development. So it's
So is that school you used to go?
no, this is a thing with me. Everybody by now would know that I attended, let's start from the beginning. I attended Jeb Memorial Basic School. Then I moved on to Coburn Gardens All Age School, and then from there to Calabar High School, and then on to the University of the West Indies.
Oh, Majesty University. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Yeah, man. I see the control university, you know. I
Yes.
see at the head of the university of Jamaica. They put a different man, you know.
No, the university is, well, things have evolved since that time.
That the university was given to them by the Queen, to Jamaica by the Queen.
But the institution has evolved since then.
Yeah, naturally, so one different brethren.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by saying it has
That's the
evolved.
last time we check, when we checked the last time, the university, I said them do an answer to no other one but Queen Elizabeth II and the government of Jamaica. Them did I tell that, you know.
Oh, yes, I remember that. That was in the papers. That was some controversy there, yes.
Yeah, but we not a public educator, man. That's why I'm not lick you with them things, you know. Refreshing up your soul in life, you know.
But you don't have to be that violent, though. Why would you want to lick me?
No, man, not lick. That's word speaking.
I hear you.
Something they know.
Yeah.
The grand gala, what them call it, on your Independence Day.
You watched it?
No. I heard of it.
You sure it wasn't on TV while you were passing the TV and you took a one glance?
The channel me do now. That's why I'm after you know. I hear say, I see a similarity between Barbados, the Commonwealth.
Yes.
As a government meeting going in Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
When the audience, the congregation seated, you know, when all of these leaders, prime ministers and president coming in, everyone seated.
Yes.
But when the Prince of Wales coming in, everyone at the hand and feet showing reverence unto the Prince of Wales, the Queen, who represent the Queen, you know?
Yes.
All exactly bow and stand up on them feet.
But if you were there, you wouldn't. If you were there, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't stand.
No.
Okay. When would you stand? What would be an appropriate time for you to stand up anywhere in the world?
I wouldn't be there.
No, I'm just speaking generally. And what would get you to stand up to show respect? Who or what would get you to do that?
I'm standing up right now for my right of freedom, redemption, international repatriation, and this media and other media.
I see. So you're on your feet right now.
Yeah.
I see.
So I say, in the grand gala, don't you know?
Yes.
Where Angela, I tell me say, when Prime Minister Andrew Holness come in and the rest of Queen Elizabeth cabinet and Parliament here and enter the grand gala. Everyone seated. So she tell me, say, why? When the Governor General come in, everyone have to depend on them feet. You can't tell you why? What is the reason why?
That is tradition and practice, that when the Governor General enters a room, you stand. It also applies to the Prime Minister, but it depends on the occasion and the setting.
As long as the Governor General is there, it wouldn't be so. Because the Governor General here in Jamaica represent Queen Elizabeth. So everyone has to stand up and the 60th anniversary.
Well, as I said, it depends on the setting and the occasion, because what normally happens is that everybody else arrives, and then closer to the appointed time of the event, the Prime Minister arrives, and then even closer to the appointed time, the Governor General arrives. In fact, the Governor General, on some occasions, is the last person to arrive. And the moment he takes up his position at the event, the national anthem is played, and that signals the start of the event.
Okay, that is the protocol that set forth, that
Yes.
set up for who represent the monarch.
Yes.
Okay, so you see what go on there now? So the monarch is in full authority at the Gangala, and them everyone gather to pay respect and homage to our 60th, reign as sovereign and head of state of Jamaica, a constitutional monarchy system.
Well,
government that rule over uno.
Well, I heard the Minister of Culture, Gender and Entertainment and Sport this morning speaking on radio, saying that Grand Gala cost about $100 million, and also that the float parade was about the same, about $100 million as well. But none of that came from the Queen.
So how much them spend on the 1st of August will concern the freedom of the black man and the black woman here in Jamaica when the chief check will come up and report?
Well, I can think of one significant event that usually happens, and that would be the all-nighter that takes place at Seville, where they would start the event the night before and go right into what they call August morning, which would be the 1st of August. I haven't heard any figures coming out of that as to how much was spent, but there's that event that was held. But the float parade itself was on that day, the 1st of August, and that was $100 million. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
You have diabetes? Two names you need to know: CareSense and Sure Comfort. The CareSense blood sugar meter provides the latest technology and the lowest priced strips on the market, accurate and easy to use. Sure Comfort insulin syringes, pen needles, and lancets offer the latest in needle technology, making it almost painless. One more name: Jamaica Hospital Supplies, 66 and a half Halfway Tree Road. Call 929-2850. Visit our website.
Need heavy equipment to rent, such as excavator with bucket and hammer, front-end loader, backhoe, roller, crate, forklift, dump trucks, and flatbed trailer? Contact P&D Williams Heavy Equipment Limited. They also sell 4, 6, and 8-inch blocks, colored bricks and pavers, concrete pumps, water and submersible pumps, compressors, and concrete for foundation casting. Visit Savannah District, Hayes, Clarendon, or call 876-986-0190 or 876-835-3636.
Right, so if you're wondering about the amount of money that was spent, as I said, it seems to be even if that's what you were checking. $100 million for Independence Day and $100 million for Emancipation Day.
Okay. I'm asking you to use your eye office as a public intellectual and find some information to me. I'm not going to take you long and make me hear it. Jamaica, said like how you said, Peter Deliquoise, Jamaica.com. 12 things that the Queen does for Jamaica. And sure it could be a have a short reasoning on it.
All right.
12 Jamaica.com. 12 things that the Queen does for Jamaica.
Let's see if we can find it. You're waiting for the answer?
Yeah, and that's the way you come up with.
All right, let's see what we have.
12.
from Jamaicans.com. 12 things the Queen of England still does for Jamaica. Number 1, the Queen sets the date for general elections.
I wonder the world that hear that. Jamaica people no hear that.
Except that technically speaking, it's the Prime Minister's prerogative to call a general election.
When the Queen set it, anyway. One.
So the queenly component again is more. It's more in the breach than anything else.
All right. What is
number 2, ministers are appointed by the Queen. Again, the Queen doesn't appoint a minister, even if this says so. It's the Prime Minister's prerogative to appoint members to his cabinet. He decides who he wants in his cabinet, or who, as Bruce Golding said, former Prime Minister, not in my cabinet, not mine, not mine. In that interview. And then number 3, through her representative, the monarch gives formal assent to laws passed by Jamaica's House of Representatives and the Senate prior to those laws taking effect. So again, this is ceremonial because the Queen has the Queen, the Queen doesn't have the time to go through. Or can you imagine if she were to go through the laws that are passed by the House of Representatives and the Senate of all the countries that she has represented? That would never be. That would be impossible. So that's
why she asked some people to help them.
So all the Governor General does is to say yes, is to sign essentially, or seal and sign to say, this is my assent, this is my approval or my agreement that this.
Approve it, then can get that office.
No, it can't take effect. It doesn't take effect until it gets that stamp of approval from the Governor General.
Yes, when you take a stock, it reserves power to Governor General and the Queen is to dismiss any incumbent Prime Minister or parliamentarian or anyone who serve at Her Majesty's pleasure.
I thought we were going through, which one is that now? Where's that? Is that in the same 12 or
no,
thing?
No, that is a different one. I never done finish the 12 yet, no problem.
So I don't know, how did you reach anyway?
Yeah,
so right. Right, so we have gone through that one. The other one is the Queen performs various public and private functions in Jamaica and on behalf of the country abroad. That hardly ever happens.
On behalf of the country abroad, what that means?
That's a good question. It's ambiguous in how it's worded. It has a dual effect, how it is worded here, that the Queen performs various public and private functions in Jamaica. When was the last time she was here? Very long time ago. Very long time ago since she came here. And on behalf of the country abroad. I'd love to know which country, because this is rather ambiguous.
And that is coming from Jamaica.com, and not from
I know Jamaicans.com. It's a Jamaican JC old boy who owns Jamaicans.com, and anybody who wants that platform now, that name, they will have to fork out millions of US dollars.
Copyright.
That's right. And also, as the Queen of Jamaica, she has guardianship of foster children known as crown wards. Well, again, I don't know of the last time the Queen visited wards at any homes in Jamaica, but we have wards of the state here in Jamaica, and they're looked after by the state. The Queen confirms awards of the Jamaican honors system. Perhaps back in the day when it used to be, people used to be, they still knight the Governor Generals, so they the sword is placed. How do they do it? Left, right, shoulder, something
Like
like that.
our thing, we go on a King's House where the Governor General
Yes.
give out award.
Right. Right. So there is that. And the monarch's governor general has the authority to discipline civil service officers, local government officers, and police. As far as I'm aware, that has never happened in Jamaica. At least not in modern Jamaica,
Yeah.
because
But
modern.
where the powers do? Where the powers bestowed upon him?
Yes. Through her representative, she can grant a pardon to those sentenced to death, but
Yeah.
must act on the advice of the Jamaican Privy Council.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know if that has happened in my lifetime. I don't think so. Her governor general appoints members of the services commissions that decide appointments, disciplinary control, and retirement benefits for public servants. So they have the Public Service Commission, the Police Service Commission, etc., to appoint those members to those professions. The Governor General, on the Queen's behalf, appoints and performs the swearing in of the Prime Minister, the opposition leader, cabinet leaders, Attorney General, Chief Justice, Court of Appeal President, and judiciary members. Number 11, the monarch supports Jamaican programs and initiatives that foster development of youth entrepreneurs, crime reduction, youth in agriculture, and blindness prevention. So these are initiatives supported by the Queen. The Queen remains neutral on political matters. So the Queen doesn't take sides.
No, because of the two parties, a fair party with our government, the two will take sides, you know?
Right. So you have
the two parties, Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party, the two political parties with our government here, so she has to be neutral.
Right. So Her Majesty's government and Her Majesty's loyal opposition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you say Majesty.
Yes. But
loyal opposition. Anybody loyal to black people, you know, it's the people who's loyal to repeat it again. Her Majesty, loyal opposition.
Yes.
Not black people loyal opposition.
Well,
So who them loyal to, you know? Them loyal first to the Britain monarch, you know, British monarch. So all this, another reason pan, this time say public intellectual who can bring up these things and do afraid to bring it up, you know. So this is a reminder to all of us as black sons and daughters here in Jamaica who is in control of this island. From emancipation, when the set up chain come out for repeat, the British monarch continue to rule the island, you know, until 1962 when them discontinue, you know, 1st of August and bring in 6th of August, you know.
Yeah, the fact is a lot of it is cosmetic and ceremonial more than anything else. The fact of the matter is this
ceremony?
Country.
What is ceremony? Because I always do not talk about ceremonial like it do carrying away. What is ceremonial?
Yeah, it is.
Ceremonial.
It helps to reinforce certain approaches, certain protocols with respect to what is to be done or what is not supposed to be done. So the part of the ceremony is to expose the population to elements of civics and how things are supposed to be done, and the kind of respect or regard that one must exercise in doing these things.
Did you know that if a person wants to be a citizen of Jamaica right now, you have to take an oath of allegiance to Queen Elizabeth II?
Yeah, just like taking an oath in the United States or any other country.
Here in Jamaica, say if you want to be a citizen of Jamaica,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing elsewhere in the world.
Why the Queen and not the Prime Minister or the people of Jamaica?
Well, the Queen remains the head of state.
Okay.
So Perhaps when that changes, who knows? It could very well be you who will be moving into one of the positions.
What kind of position is that? This man on the party in Jamaica, freedom, redemption, international repatriation, you know, the return home and build up the African continent, you know.
By the way, are you in touch with Digicel?
No, but me hear a little thing with where brethren name? Remind me I name there. I think I
Dennis.
Hear from, you know.
Dennis O'Brien.
Them want reparation. What a general them in Dervan?
No, careful now. We don't know of anybody being a general. That's a serious term in Jamaica. No.
All right, leave it there. Make a tell it in a different way. That we can pick the reason going on. You can buy in a slavery.
Yes.
The plant of them they get the money, you know.
Yes, 20 million pounds, I believe.
And up to now, we don't get no compensation. So when all of these Jamaica Reparation Council and all of them who may talk about reparation and we go to the future king and queen where they say them want reparation. Which is a hijack. They never say them want to go to Africa, you know. They want to stay on plantation Jamaica. And them say them is Jamaican. If you ask all of them, they say them are Jamaican and not born African and not come from Africa. So all these people are running front of the freedom fighter, our reparation money. And them are Jamaican. Reparation and not Jamaican. It's the African, people of African descent. You know?
Yeah,
and
well, it's
them Africanness and say them are Jamaican, like you.
Oh. So you're making sure you're carving out a way that some funds come your way by making it clear that you are one of the
no funds, no reparation in Jamaica. Repatriation first, I want to reach Africa. We take reparation on the continent and set up ourselves in Africa, you know.
All right. When you have set up, please give us a call. We'll be happy to visit you.
No, you'll be coming in. The police and soldiers are going right around the country.
All right. Let's leave it there for now, Ras Lloyd. Let's leave it there for now. Next time we talk about Digicel.
All right. Respect.
All right. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Let's take the break.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:07. TDN le CDN. 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number. So you can send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, and you can call us on WhatsApp. That number is 876-365-3346. Let's check to see who should go next. I have Natalie Winter holding for 20 minutes, 25 seconds. Or you have 30 on your end. All right, go ahead with the caller who has been holding for about 30 minutes. Natalie Winter, sorry, just hang on a bit more if you're able to, please. But someone has been holding for much longer than you have. One moment, please. To the phone lines once again, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Come on, bless your name.
Rascava.
Yeah, give thanks to life, you know.
Any word on the reuniting that Empress with her items?
Right now, nothing to no Empress, you know, man. I want Empress, you know, in a black people, I Empress Menem.
I'm sorry, sir. And never again shall I call anybody else Empress, but Empress Menem.
Manem.
Menem.
Yeah, because you have to be an emperor to become an empress,
I
and she's
see.
not an emperor.
And the king and queen crowned same time as Taurus Riley says, right?
Right. So she can be called a princess or a queen, but not an empress. I mean, she also Rasta did that, and we burn out that
All right.
one empress in our black people.
All
But
right.
that sister did turn up this evening to collect her documents.
Oh, she did.
Yep,
Very
I
good.
never stopped doing my investigation until I found her,
Oh, lovely.
and she was all the way in Westmoreland.
Oh, goodness.
But what makes it easy was that she attended Maud McLeod High School.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was just to join that group and then now start to inquire around from the past students until I got about 3 calls from 3 persons saying that they know her. So the link was made, and I got a call from her boyfriend has gone to the man that called.
Mm-hmm.
And she now called, and she turns up this evening and collected her document, and along with her belongings that was left on the ground.
Did she enter into any conversation in terms of, well, any not conversation, any reasoning as to what happened?
Yeah, I did question her, and the car was parked. Her car was parked in the car park on the Denver showground, because she was a vendor there.
Oh.
And about 5-6 years ago, about $30,000 to rent one space, not to mention any other place over there where they have a rent.
Mm-hmm.
So I am saying that if she pays so much money to rent her space there, and the place supposed to have security guards and big flooded lights, probably a flooded lights instead of floodlights, because nobody shouldn't go take other people's car without being notified or noticed by the securities.
Yes.
Because then now that they come back out on the street now, come empty it out and throw the contents there and building there. So, but she has not gotten her NIS card. It look like they think they can get money from that one. So they never leave that one, but them leave the voter's ID and
the driver's license. Mm.
Right. And her NHF card.
Yes.
So I don't ask her date of birth, which she quickly gave me, so it was hers. So
yes.
we give thanks for that was done.
Yes, well done.
And that is to put a red spot on them and their parking area that people have to go into, because people are supposed to go over there, go block somebody's car and come out, brethren. Yes. Otherwise, it's not safe for you to park your vehicle.
Maybe. And I don't know what they maybe need the aid of, for example, whenever I cover these big events in New York, like the Jerk Festival in New York or Florida, there's usually a mobile surveillance unit. So it positions, maybe they use drones as well, but there's a unit, a physical vehicle that is strategically parked, and they have a 360-degree camera, so they can pretty much pick up things from a certain distance and so on.
From different angles.
And from different angles as well. So hardly anybody tries anything shifty in that kind of a setting, because there are always eyes on them, on everybody who is in that space.
Right, but this is just all about making money and not doing anything to benefit the people and want to make them money. Because that nobody knows should have got the car park and up to them.
But they might argue that they're not perfect, but they have done and continue to do their part in helping the sustainability of agricultural development in Jamaica.
That's all what them say, but it's not without their making the profit. Because, you know, as I said, brethren, that the place there, you know, secure, you know, business, you know, secure, because this is an evidence to say, you know, secure.
Yeah,
Not
there is room for further development. There is no doubt about that. For years, we have been hearing about the Denby Hotel and other plans to develop the showgrounds itself. Clearly, uh, funding is not as well. Funding is not forthcoming. Otherwise, they would have done all those things already. The property, as I understand it,
they make each year. What JS does with that? They don't spend it power that they do.
no, I don't know about billions of dollars. What I
No,
know,
but 125,000 people would be there on one day at a $1,000 per ticket. This year, 1,200 multiplied by the 3 days. How much that would add up to?
well, all of that would be an estimate. I don't. I'm not checking. I'm listening.
Right, but they give a amount, you know, which they said 125,000 people were there on a particular Monday. I know that the Saturday would be more preparational than the other days.
But we were also told that Saturday was the best Saturday ever. The first day was the best first day ever.
Yeah, because people would not be so crowded. They could move around more freely, but they wouldn't have a chance to see everything, especially the pavilion, the booth.
Yes.
Which Clarendon come first this year.
You had anything to do with that?
Well, maybe 1 or 2 advice, but not physically. It's a big coat of arms that usually displayed over there. I was the one who make that. I mean, over there help them lay out the layers and organize the whole setting of the booth. But I think Westmoreland was the most creative and neatly displayed booth. But
well, that's very magnanimous of you for a Clarendon man to be bigging up Westmoreland.
I have to tell the truth because as Kanto becoming like the festival queen, you know, you check what the wedding the festival queen they make the most the Kingston and St. Andrew.
Really?
Because the coaches are based in that section of the world, so they have more advanced.
No man, they are. I've had the privilege of coaching the festival queens in public speaking, voice and speech, current affairs, the whole works. And
where you come from?
I was born at Victoria Jubilee Hospital.
Where your address? Not east.
In the corporate area.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The coaches are mostly from there.
Yes, but that, and what does that mean? What and therefore what?
That means the ones who are in that section have easier access to them in and out here.
No, everybody has the same access. All the parish queens arrive at the same time essentially, and they spend the same amount of time together, and every single one of them is exposed to the same level of coaching. Every one of them.
Your knowledge.
Based on
your knowledge.
Not limited to my knowledge at all. I remember, technically speaking, nothing is new under the sun, and knowledge is incremental. And we build different people, different groups of people build on existing information and come away with different perspectives and so on. So it's just
like you're muzzled to certain information and publicly airways too. So we can leave that there. But
I'm sorry, that one went over my head, Rascal. I'm not sure what that was about.
Well, that's why I said let's leave that there. Give thanks to the Kingston sister who won. We got the first runner up. So we will not wish her any harm that our queen will take her place. So they both can reign alongside each other. The Prime Minister's speech.
Which
on
one?
Independence Day.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
The Prime Minister in his speech said that he was touching on the Riverton Dam. and he said the Riverton dump. A lot of people make their livelihood from that dump, you know. Is that something the Prime Minister should be boasting about on their Independence Day?
I don't know.
What the Prime Minister is actually saying, there are a lot of people who depend on that dump to survive.
Which is a point of fact.
Yeah, but that's shameful for the Prime Minister to be boasting about.
It's not unusual for the waste sites and centers of the world to provide some kind of sustenance, believe it or not, to those who are known as scavengers. It's a global phenomenon.
Yeah, but it's not a boastful thing. You should not be boasting about that. You should be providing clean, healthy employment for your citizens if you say your country is growing. So, to be saying that, I think you should have get -0 for that. We should never tell people that, because I see something that people get at that dump coming, especially in the market, and sell. It is so.
No, well, that's a different thing. That needs to be policed properly.
That's getting their livelihood. That's how they survive.
No, in terms of ensuring that we're not that and the police have had operations from time to time that items that the disposers have been told, look, don't allow anybody to get back into this heap, because it's that kind of policing.
Well, it's easier said than done.
Of course.
Right, but I'm not talking about people who are employed there to work there. I'm talking about the scavengers, as you so call them.
Oh, well, again, those who operate the actual markets, and the public health inspectors who are supposed to at a moment's notice survey and scrutinize those markets. That's part of it. Part of the problem is that we know what needs to be done and we know who is supposed to do what, but unfortunately,
politics have shackled their feet and their brain to react or to act accordingly.
Yeah, people just need to do what they're supposed to do.
Right. I would not even describe some of the things when I see people that can't come there and tell and poor people have to buy it, because when they think of the children at home,
yes,
they grind them pride in a grinder and say, boy, a survivor. I am ashamed of it. And it's all, for instance, when something go on special.
Hold a moment. One moment, Raskov.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. Tune in to Power 106 FM for Milestones in Nationhood, short features that examine 60 significant milestones in Jamaica's history and development as Jamaica celebrates 60 years of independence, from pre-independence to political independence and the formation of the Jamaican society and people. It all comes together in Milestones in Nationhood, weekdays 12:30 p.m. to 4 p.m.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:16. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:16. Tiense, Tidian le, Si Tian, Shi Liao Fen. 16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? Yes, young people, we know you're still on summer break. But you know what we always say, even when school is out, homework is always in, because homework is about preparation, and proper preparation prevents poor performance. And as we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Yes, Raskaba, you're saying about, was it discount you're going to talk about?
No, before I go there, I just love Yellow Brass Light for allowing me to know that I never know about that Jamaica.org. That is
Jamaicans.com.
right. I never know about that, so I give thanks for that.
Yes.
And it has revealed so much that a lot of us Jamaica ones who live at Jamaica don't know.
Yes.
And then tell us those things. But give thanks again for that.
Mm-hmm.
When I think on special into a supermarket,
Mm-hmm.
what that term on special means?
It means the operators of the outlet, the food establishment, are giving back to their customers. And so, whether because an item is not moving as fast as they wanted it to, or uh, whatever the reason, they use the opportunity to try and move the items as quickly off the shelves as possible, because the last thing they want is for the items to stay there beyond their best before date and then become of no value to people, and everybody loses.
That's what I thought. So if that item is there 2 days before the expiry date, should that thing be deemed as putting it on special or just forcing people to buy it? You get 2 for 1.
Yeah, and people have an obligation to check the date. The experts and the food scientists will tell you, even if the date says, and I'm not recommending this to anybody, but the experts have said that if an item expires or is, well, notice they don't say expire normally. They usually say best before date. So the product is at its best before a particular date. And however, the packaging is such and the preservation is such that it can actually go over a few days, but they're not going to spell that out. But they have said, I've interviewed a couple of food scientists before, and they have said as much.
The
That,
one that I am talking about, it says
yes.
expires on this date.
And if that's what it says, and even if it says best before as opposed to expired, then we are supposed to try and consume it before it gets to that point. Because it's not so much that it's going to spoil per se. It's not always about spoilage. It's about the staying power, the length of time uh, in the brine, brine, or whatever it is, the item that it's in. Everything has a shelf life. So it really is, if you go over a particular time, then the quality starts to drop. And if the quality starts to drop, you're not going to be getting value for money.
But what I'm saying, you see, the expiry date was printed on a plastic container that it is in. And there's no background on it that can highlight that date. It is printed on the clear, transparent part where you have to look good to say that the expiry date upon it. And I asked the cashier, why are they selling it 2 for the price of 1? And because I old, he said, no, it's not old. That's specially depend. So as I think special now is giving forward to the people a little of what they have earned from the people in lieu of, no, in the way of giving them a little cheaper item. But it shouldn't be because it are going no good in shortly why them are deep.
But that is not always the case. There are instances as well where they need to do stock taking, and they recognize certain things, and they make an adjustment here and there. Unfortunately, though, there are those who, when they tell you that you're getting a discount or a special, if you were paying attention the weeks or months before when you went to that shop, store, or supermarket, you would realize that's the same price they were selling it for way back then. It's the same price you're paying it for you're paying for it now, even though
Right.
they're telling you it's a special.
And through the note, especially some people that are Jamaica, not be able to read it or to understand the strategy that they are using. So I think they should have a little red arrow that draws our attention to the expiry date and give them a choice whether or not they want to take that risk or to still buy it.
Yeah.
But don't make it look like, and then the cashier said, no, nothing no wrong, I just two, it depends special.
Yeah.
That people now go let two for one and go buy one, when them
Yeah.
tap some hungry people in the yard,
Yeah. Well, it doesn't, and it doesn't suit the company either, and to hold on to them.
No, but
If you can
buy enough that will not expire, and that same thing then do the vaccine and cause Jamaica so much.
Well, that will come with experience, because you have most of it is computerized these days, and you can go on the computer and see the stock falling or going up in terms of the items.
Yes. You sell per month over a period.
Right.
And then you buy that.
It's the same thing for people who cook breakfast or lunch or both during the day. If they operate a cook shop, over time they have an idea of what the average traffic is like. Maybe on the day when they cook, what's the most famous one that we Jamaican men love? Stew peas. Yes, they should.
Right. And leaving now, I would just say the Prime Minister also said, and that's why I'm taking care of the cockpit country. You see?
Well, here's the thing. I've said for years on this program, don't tell me you love me, show me you love me.
All right, blessed love. Good time.
Thank you for the call. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I think we have Job's sister on the line. Her name is Natalie Winter from Washington Gardens. She has been holding for 43 minutes and 27 seconds. Natalie Winter, sorry that you have had to hold so long, but thank you for holding. Good afternoon.
Oh, yes, good afternoon. One thing, I've heard that RGR Communications Group is having a back to school bazaar on the 13th. My problem is I didn't hear where it would be and what time. Do you know what time?
I'm sorry, I have no idea. But somebody will tell us soon, and we'll we'll announce the information.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. If anybody in the RGR Gleaner Communications Group is listening, please send us a note, give us a call in studio so we can confirm the details for the back to school bazaar that is taking place. All right, let's go to another call on WhatsApp. We're trying to access this call. What's happening here? Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. All right, sounds like Sean just woke up in the middle of sleeping. Try again, Sean. You'll have to wake up first before you start talking. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing, sir?
Fine, thanks. And you?
I am great. I'm doing great so far. I'm having a great day. But the place looks like the rain is going to fall though. The cloud is dark.
You didn't listen to the program at the start, or you missed it?
Because you guys were having some problems on YouTube. I tuned in when Land Solutions was on air, when the program was on air.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, we gave a comprehensive weather report at the start of the program.
Yeah. yes. Yes, I understand. But seriously, Uncle, the other day when I was listening to the news, I hear they were talking about a 19-year-old man charged for policeman murder. How could a 19-year-old man murder that policeman? What a wicked man. Seriously, they must take action against the man. Jeez, I'm telling you. Oh boy, very disturbing. Uncle, let I tell you something. Every time when I hear these stories on the news, they really bothers me. They disturbs me. Oh boy.
Well, try not to take on too much of the weight of
Mhm.
of depression that tends to impact some of us. Uh,
Yes.
it is a tragedy. The loss of any life is to be regretted, and
Mhm.
but
Yes,
there
that's
are,
true.
yeah, the rest of us should just take heed and try
Mhm.
and do the opposite of what is being done.
Yes.
Right.
I understand you. I understand you. Yes, yes, yes. That's how it goes. It is the facts of life. They have a saying that saying the midst of life there is death.
So it is.
Yes, yes, yes. So what these people need to do, they need to take action against these young men. They need to be behind the bars. If I was in that policeman's shoes, you know what I would do? Call the police on the young man for them to arrest and charge him. I would take action against him from a very long time.
Yeah, well, that's why we have policemen, and that's why we have citizens who are supposed to be conscious and conscientious and
Hmm?
demonstrate good citizenship, sharing information with the police so that they can effectively solve some of these crimes.
Mm-hmm. 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 I understand you. I understand you. Especially some of these teenagers. Also, of them cared about. Some of them dropped out of school because they don't want no education.
No, but how
Some of
can you come to that conclusion? You can't. You have to be careful of the conclusions that you draw. People's
yeah.
circumstances alter cases. We don't know the reasons. There are multiple reasons why someone would drop out of school. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. Gen Zers, we're back. Gen Z returns with a new look, fresh faces, hot topics, and a whole new vibe. We're talking finance, dating, dancehall. You think it? We discuss it. You don't want to miss it. So join us Saturdays at 10 a.m. on Power 106 FM and 6:30 p.m. on TVJ. Gen Z, a show for the youths, by the youths. Tune in to Power 106 FM for Milestones in Nationhood, short features that examine 60 significant milestones in Jamaica's history and development as Jamaica celebrates 60 years of independence, from pre-independence to political independence and the formation of the Jamaican society and people. It all comes together in Milestones in Nationhood, weekdays 12:30 p.m. to 4 p.m.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 29. 现在几点了？5点cha r 10:09 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children, a good time to remind parents and guardians wherever the health fairs are being held over the next couple of weeks. Please ensure that the children get the opportunity to have their eyes tested, Please ensure that they get a proper cleaning in terms of oral hygiene. Very important. We should not send them back to school or out to school for the first time unless they have done a thorough health check. That's important. They must do a medical, and those who are moving from primary school to high school would know that they need to do a medical. We've seen what has happened to some of our student athletes, sadly, over the years. It is important for these children to have a medical done so you have a sense of how they are doing health-wise. And importantly, as we said, have the eyes tested, have the teeth cleaned, and just a general checkup. And as well, I don't know if parents still give children washout with the mojo herb and so on, so that you flush your system. That's another thing. And there's the deworming as well. That's another area, etc. Let's get back to the program. Hello. Yeah, so we were making the point that we don't want to rush to judgment when we hear of situations, but that we seek first to understand, then to be understood, as opposed to jumping to conclusions. Because people have different reasons why they end up out of school before their time.
You're right, Uncle Dervan. You're absolutely right. I'm listening to you. You're correct. Yes, you're right. Uncle Dervan, I have a few things to tell you before I go. When a caller come on this talk show, when I'm hearing the callers running their mouth, how should I switch them off? They are annoying.
And no doubt there are those listening who might very well be thinking along the same lines of you. It's
all of them. I'm a quiet person.
Right. So we don't have to. Each of us has some kind of pet peeve, or maybe there's somebody we don't like to hear or whatever. And that's just a fact of life. You don't necessarily have to voice it and make that publicly known. But different strokes for different folks. Different people prefer to listen to some other people than others. And that's the nature of people. Some people like this person, that talk show host, or they don't like this one, and so on. There's nothing that we can do about that except to just put our best foot forward in whatever we do, and see if we can be more thoughtful in putting our ideas together, so that when that line is open and we're on, that we're able to express ourselves in a way that would give us all a sense of pride.
I'm listening to you. Sometimes when I hear them behaving like that, I get angry sometimes when they don't listen to you. You know what I'm saying?
No, but you don't want to do that, because there's a saying that says the jailer and the jailed are both in jail. So there are times when people like to talk in Jamaica about having up people. People have up people, and people carrying belly for people. Now that's a stressful life. That is a stressful life, because the person you're carrying belly for and you have up in your thoughts, and you don't like this one and you don't like that one, both you and that person are in jail, in a manner of speaking, except that you more so than the other person, because the other person might not even be thinking about you at any given point, maybe once in a million years, in a manner of speaking. And so you have to be careful that you don't put yourself in a prison by having up somebody and hating somebody, or otherwise not liking somebody, and don't want to And because of that, you do all kinds of things. You try to ignore the person, so you have to constantly be creating these barricades and barriers and fences and all of that, and prisons. Essentially, you're imprisoning yourself every time you do that, as opposed to just living and let live.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay, I understand. Thank you for educating me on this issue. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Nice talking to you guys all the time. Uncle, I have one more thing to tell you. A few years ago, I think in 2011 or so, I see you in a TV commercial. I never remember what the commercial was about. Understand what I'm saying?
I don't remember either.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it is. Thank you for educating me. You always say this to me. Make sure that my hands are clean in the first instance.
So it is.
Yes, you always say this to me. I must not curse a person. That is true. Anything you will always tell me on this program. I will always listen to you. You are the only person who can talk to me about all the issues that is going on in the world. You are the only person I can always listen to. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you all the time. I will talk to you another time.
All right. Thank you very much for the call. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello? Are you there? That person got tired of holding. We could read some messages in the meantime. Let's go to these messages. Sheila Clark Wallace says, kindly send anniversary greetings to Sheila and Norris Wallace, mom and dad, celebrating 36 years of marriage. Love you both and thanking God for keeping you guys through the good and bad. Coming from your 4 kids, Noida, Kashma, Damien, and Kareem. Also, your 2 amazing grandsons, Caden and Jeremiah. We love you, Nana and Papa, all in Elmont, New York. Always tuning in. Thank you. Well, a happy anniversary greetings to Sheila and Norris Wallace, mom and dad, celebrating 36 years of marriage. And the children are saying, love you both and thanking God for keeping you guys through the good and bad, coming from your 4 kids, Noida, Kashma, Damien, and Kareem. Also, your 2 amazing grandsons, Caden and Jeremiah. We love you, Nana and Papa, all in Elmont, New York, always tuning in. Thank you. And we should say happy birthday as well to Mr. Heslop. Why has his name gone out of my head now? Mr. Heslop, who is celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Heslop. Happy birthday to you. Hope you live to see many, many more, coming from your mother-in-law. And that's Owen Heslop, from your mother-in-law, Mrs. Barker. Also from your wife, Keita Gay Cummings, and your mom, and your uncle, and all the other members of the family. Happy birthday, Owen Heslop. All the very best. Take care. Sandra Forrester, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Dr. Trevor Dixon at Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx, New York. He's an emergency medicine physician, founder of Jaja Foundation, Jamaicans Abroad, helping Jamaicans at home. Dr. Dixon says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan. 100 degrees Fahrenheit in New Jersey today. Ouch. reminding those who are cleared by their physicians to hydrate with juices, water, and sports drinks to do so, especially when exposed to the elements for an extended period of time. Thanking those who came out and made our Jaja fundraiser a huge success. We are delighted to hear that, Dr. Dixon. We are delighted to hear that. Thank you for sharing. And Dr. Dixon says, just giving you both sides of the fundraising story, the before and after. We appreciate it, Dr. Dixon. And he says, thanking the entire Power 106 family for their continued support. You're welcome. Sophia Nemard in Newell, St. Elizabeth, good afternoon to you. Dean Virgin says, good day, long time don't check in. Thanks for checking in, Dean. Denzel Martin says, good afternoon, Dervan. I'm listening in Mandeville. 106.5 has not been transmitting clearly for the past 3 days. In fact, it's been a lifetime, Denzel Martin. It's been a lifetime, which is not good. We've been having these issues too often and for too long. Too often and for too long. We hope at some point there will be a much improved system. Some more message. Natalie Winter says, good afternoon from Washington Gardens, Kingston 20. And Natalie, we have the answer for you with respect to that back to school event, which is being promoted all over the RGR Gleaner Communications Group. See if we can find the answer. Here we go. Thanks to Vivette Malcolm, a member of the team here at Poro 106. She says the bazaar will be held on the southern lawn of Devon House, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The southern lawn of Devon House, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's on Saturday. All things being well, we'll be playing our part, as we like to do, helping another educational institution. And that's Magotty High School. They'll be launching the Florida chapter of Magotty High School on Saturday the 13th. Saturday the 13th of August, the launch of Magotty High School Florida chapter. We'll tell you more in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Need help in your time of bereavement? Anthony Brown Funeral Home offers complete funeral arrangements, both here and overseas, including storage, caskets, embalming, bike escort services, and 24-hour island-wide service. Anthony Brown Funeral Home, 17 Milford Road, Ocho Rios, 876-974-2071 or 876-974-6135.
Summer is on, and before you know it, you'll soon be making plans for the new school year. Make the grade at the annual RGR Gleaner Back to School Bazaar, Saturday, August 13 at Devon House, and bring the kids to enjoy the rides while you shop in comfort. Do you sell books and stationery items, e-learning and smart devices, backpacks and lunch kits, snacks, juices? Do you provide educational loans and scholarships, dental, optical, or GP service? Or maybe you manufacture uniforms or classroom furniture or have school shoes, sports gear, or art supplies? Call our marketing department at 876-926-1100 now to book your space.
Right.
That's 926-1100.
That's a unique card.
The RGR Gleaner Back to School Bazaar at
All right, no problem. I'll
announce. Sponsored by VMware Transfer Services, Digicel, Jamaica's best mobile coverage, and P.A. Benjamin Associate Sponsors, Sangster's Bookstore, Farmer Wormer, Old Beck Caller, Quaker, Pasquale, Singer, UCC, Imperial Optical, and Devon Biscuit. You gotta go back to school again.
¿Qué hora es en espagnol? Son las 5 menos 14. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 14. 现在地点了5点84分。 14 minutes to make that 13 minutes now to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? We just got a bit of information off air. Raskava, you were talking about the missing NIS card. I was just informed that you can get that back in a breeze. And furthermore, only you can use that card anyway. Nobody else can. So over to the lady who lost her, well, initially lost her items, but she can in fact get back that card in no time. It's not even going to take 5 minutes in a manner of speaking. So over to you. Hope she's listening. All right, let's clear some of these messages now. Lots of them. Did all these come in today? Hold on, let's see. Good afternoon to Norman Wright. Bishop Gooden, Bishop Douglas Gooden, how are you? All the best. And Calvin in North York, Ontario, Canada. Good afternoon to you too. And you know, we just remembered something. Mr. Reverend Dr. from, oh gosh, what's the name of that? He is from that community which bears the name, see if I can bring it up. I took a picture of it when I went to Digicel the other day. They have a storyboard, and let's see if I can retrieve it from that storyboard. Yes, I think this is it. Right, Sturgetown, Reverend Dr. What's his name now? From Sturgetown. I have it here somewhere. Reverend Dr. All right, let me just put in Sturgetown because we have quite a few Reverend Doctors in the system. Sturgetown. Let's see if we, Reverend Dr. Frank Lawrence. Reverend Dr. Frank Lawrence from Sturgetown. Here's the story of Sturgetown for you. It's one of the storyboards at Digicel where we were a few days ago. So it says Joseph Sturge, 1793 to 1859. Outspoken career activist, Joseph Sturge dedicated most of his life to the emancipation of slaves in all British territories. Sturge was born in Gloucestershire, England in 1793 and joined the abolition movement in 1823. When the Anti-Slavery Society, founded in 1827, chose to pursue slavery reforms instead of immediate abolition, Sturge left and formed his own organization, the Agency Committee, which used, among other things, mass leafleting and neighborhood lectures to agitate for slavery's immediate end. After the passage of the Emancipation Act in 1834, freeing all slaves in British colonies, Sturge became an outspoken critic of the 6-year apprenticeship period, which was to precede full freedom in 1840. Between 1834 and 1837, he traveled to several British Caribbean colonies, gathering information proving that the abuses of slavery were continued during apprenticeship. He published his findings in 2 books, which drew widespread criticism of the apprenticeship system, forcing the British government to implement full emancipation in 1838, 2 years earlier than planned. While in Jamaica, Sturge helped found the Sturgetown Free Village in St. Ann, providing land and homes for newly freed slaves. In 1838, Sturge shifted his focus towards ending slavery worldwide and founded the British and Foreign Anti-Slavery Society to achieve this end. The society reaped several successes during Sturge's lifetime and continued to function even after his death in 1859. The society is still in operation today under the name Anti-Slavery International, a testament to the tireless effort Sturge displayed during his lifetime towards ending slavery. Good afternoon to the people of Sturge Town in St. Anne. Thank you so much for tuning in. And there you go, Reverend Dr. Frank Lawrence. There's the information you requested. Hope you found it useful. All the very best. And going down the line, Samantha in Manchester in England says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Good afternoon, Samantha. We know you were having sound issues earlier on. Asha Ash was sending us messages as well when there was no audio. Vivette Malcolm says, hi, Dervan. I missed the name of the land being used for burial. It's Dovecot. It's Dovecot. Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Happy Monday to you and your listeners. There's a big debate taking place about the amount of money spent on the senator's bid for the Commonwealth Secretary General position. The argument is that the money was spent and she lost. The question I'm asking, would it make a difference if she had won? Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary. A pertinent question. Ren Mendez says, Sir D, good afternoon. No audio again here in Whitby, Ontario. Ren Mendez, app or otherwise. So those perennial problems. Ren Mendez, we're trying our best with what we have control over and hoping that eventually everything will be taken care of and we'll once again have a powerful, consistent transmission. Rachel G says, Dervan, you sure gave a few laughs with the RAS. And that's Ras Lloyd earlier on. And yes, I really enjoy laughter. I do more laughter than anything else, actually. Which is why I love comedies. Not the slapstick kind of hurry come up comedies. I mean, comedy with a little depth and breadth and class and tact and all of those things, right? But just not just for laughs. If you're doing it just for laughs, I'm sorry, I don't find you funny. If it's just for laughs. If you are genuinely comedic or hilarious, then more power to you. Who is this now? I love those two callers. God is good. And this is from Pauline Findlay, is it? Good evening. I'm here listening. Good afternoon to you, Pauline Findlay or Maxine, whichever one it is. Good afternoon, Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Good afternoon to you too. And let's see who else is out there. David G.A. Dixon says, blessings, Dervan. Was there a budget published for the independence celebration? No, but we heard the Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport doing an interview on Nationwide this morning. I think it was Nationwide, was it? I think so. And she was asked about the spend on Grand Gala and the float parade. And what I recall hearing was $100 million for Grand Gala and another 100 million for the float parade. That's what I heard this morning. And yeah, thank you for your question, David G.A. Dixon. Good afternoon to Paulette Saunders, another regular listener to the program. Thank you very much for tuning in and all the very best to you. Thank you. Let's see. There are other messages and some voice messages that I'll need to listen to as well. Millicent Morris says, "Blessed love, keep up your great work." Thank you, Millicent Morris. And you do likewise. All the very best. Thank you very much. And before time runs out, let's make sure we're not leaving out any messages. I think we have everybody, do we? I believe so. Let's see. Oh, we have a little more here. This is Velta Wilson in St. Thomas. Good afternoon to you. She says, "I've been missing out for some time. My holiday was busy for the past 2 weeks." Don't apologize for that, Velta Wilson. Holiday is a good thing. By all means, enjoy the break. Relatives were visiting from abroad. Lovely. I had a good time with them. That's the spirit, Velta Wilson. Family is important. Family is everything. Sharon Richards says, "Good afternoon, Sir Malcolm and all listeners out there. Blessed Monday to you all." To you too, Sharon Richards in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Poro 106 FM. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Monday, the 8th of August, 2022. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wish nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, both sides of the story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care. Yes, Mrs. Barker.
Yes, I didn't get to tell you that get the kid and the baby and children, they're overseas.
Really? Where are they? Florida?
I'm not sure they're over there.
Okay.
I know it's in the States. Because the baby is an American, you know.
Yes, I know.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. Time is now
5 o'clock.
comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.
And thanks for sending the greeting.
Sure, no problem.
Yes, that person will have a problem with the NIS card. Just go and just tell them a little print the card out.